There's something about the words you say, I hear them when you're not around. And there's something about that look in your eyes and your voice's sound. Well, we can leave this town, pretend that that's the problem. We can live without, or we can live without. And then you tell me, someday it's alright with me.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, show number 315 for this July the 3rd, 2023. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com and check out all their great articles and other podcasts such as Craft Brewed Sports at bellyupsports.com. And tonight, use the SeatGeek app or SeatGeek.com for 20% off your tickets for maybe some tickets for Independence Day down in the States. You can get 20% off by using promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com today. And thank you for making us a part of your weekend and your summertime fun here at 1420 Sports.com or 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. But it's been a week or so, Dave, since we've done this and a little out of practice. How was the weekend? You were out watching baseball on our big day, Canada Day here in Canada. How was the weekend?
Weekend was awesome. Watched the kid play baseball. So, as a dad, there's not much better things you can do than getting out there and watching your kid compete. I will say this, on July the 1st in Langdon, Alberta, it was 34 degrees and not a tree in sight. So got a little hot for Papa. Holy, I got a flip-flop tan that you've never seen, brother. Yeah. It was so hot, but the kids had a good time, and we were out there watching the boy compete, and he had a good weekend himself.
Did you get any fireworks into your system? I know you're a big fireworks guy. I saw some after the Bulls game on Saturday night at Spitz Stadium. I actually ended up, me and Deanne sat right at home plate. We had some chairs. We went, I took my rightful spot at home plate after the game was done. Did you get yourself any fireworks on Saturday night?
I did not. That's the one thing on my checklist I wanted to see that I did not get to see. It was actually quite windy, and we were a bit away. And, by the time we would have got to the fireworks, they started at 10:30 and then gotten back. It would have been closer to midnight. The boys had a game in the morning, so we didn't even worry about it. The boys were having a good time. But you know what? I want to talk about this. I was lucky enough to see some fireworks on July 2nd at Langdon, Alberta. I got to witness something that not many people get a witness.
Okay. I also had something on July 1st that was sports related as well, but you can go right ahead. And
you go first.
You start first. You go right ahead, because I know you're quite proud of this whole situation. What you've seen, I've never seen live. So you go ahead first.
I witnessed an immaculate inning. Immaculate inning. I'm sure everybody does know, but I am going to say 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. It happened at the top of the first, and the kid that fucking delivered that to me was my boy. He got up there, top of the first inning. He set the fucking tone. 3 strikeout, 9 pitches.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Just like that. See you later. Done deal. You got old Jasper must have been smiling ear to ear, probably barely able to talk, because I know Jasper, when he gets a little excited, he starts to hyperventilate almost when he talks. He doesn't know what's going on sometimes. So it must have been a proud moment, not only for Jasper but for yourself.
Oh, for sure. Like after the second one, it was like, holy shit, that's 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts. And then he did it. And then like it was awesome on so many levels. A, that I got to see it. B, that it was my kid. C, it pumped his team right up. Like, cause like they were in a team of 13 and unders, and they were playing in a tournament of 16 and unders. So 2 of the kids
That's bad planning, but whatever. Yeah.
But nonetheless, 2 of the kids that he struck out were 15 years old, and he came as soon as the inning was over. Like I was like to Kaylee and to the parents, it was like, "Fuck, that was an immaculate inning." And we're all talking, and all of a sudden, the boy is right behind me with a baseball. He goes, "Here's the ball. Here's the ball." And like we're saving this ball, and like fucking right, we're saving this ball. Like when he's my age, he'll have that ball. If he doesn't do another thing in baseball, he'll have a ball that says he pitched an immaculate inning on July 1st, 2023, and that's a cool moment. That's one of the things that you never know when the sun is going to shine on that dog's ass, and the sun shined on it that day.
Well, that's one of those things I've been trying. I think we talk about a lot on our show here, Dave, about minor sports, and those are moments that you're supposed to grab as a kid. And later on, when we're done, we were talking about I think just last show last Wednesday, that the moments that you remember if you go onto the big leagues, or you go on to sell insurance, or become a construction guy or whatever. You always have those moments with your buddies 10, 20, 30 years later when you're sitting around the local watering hole. Those remember when days, and the story. The problem that Jasper has with that story, he can't boat it up anymore. Like that's good as it gets. Like he can't lie about it and make the story any better, because like 3 ground balls in a row. All right, right on. But like 3 strikeouts in a row, that's immaculate. It doesn't happen very often. He can't say 3 up, 3 down. It was immaculate because like that's it.
9 pitches, 3 strikeouts.
So he can't make that story any better, which is a bad thing for him, as we know when we start talking about our glory days back in whatever we were doing, his glory days, that's it, stories it. So all his buddies like, yeah, Jasper, we know you struck out 3 guys on 9 pitches. Right on, man. Like there's not a diving catch involved. There's not this guy. Like the guys he struck out might get better over time. Right, he might talk about that,
and they're not telling any stories. Eh?
No,
like it's just like kid, they're just a nameless victim.
Man.
Yeah,
Some kid who sells insurance, something Lethbridge. I don't fucking. He talks about it all the time on his dad's podcast. For fuck's sakes, I don't know. He's a guest. No, that's a pretty cool story. When you told me about that last night, because then Deanna and I started talking. Because she does her idea of a perfect game, an immaculate game, and everything else. She has a lot and a no hitter. It's all different. She has it all convoluted and all screwed up. That's pretty cool that Jasper got that situation. I'm sure as the summer progresses, he'll tell that story probably at least 3 more times, I'm thinking.
And what was cool about it as well, like everybody really understood it, right? Like it really picked the team up. It was the top, like I say, it was the top of the first. They're playing against a team older than them, and they ended up winning the game. He went 4 2/3, 9 strikeouts on 94 pitches. I don't know if we're supposed to let 13-year-old kids throw 94 pitches.
Throw 106, who cares? Whatever. Keep going.
But he was good, and he left the game winning 8-3. They ended up winning the game 9-8, and we're happy about everything about that. So a no decision, but that's what happens in baseball. We all get it. And his team was so happy for him. And like when I was talking with the parents and kids, Jasper was awesome today. Jasper was awesome today. And hear the kids say that, as a dad, that's pretty cool. It was really, my chest was a little puffy.
Yeah, like I understand the reasoning for pitch counts to an extent in youth baseball. I get it, but who never had a pitch count? Nolan Ryan. He did okay. One of
Yeah,
those
but
things, right?
I will say this: after 4 2/3, the boy was done. Like he was.
Well, and
he was.
but that's the thing is that like usually when a kid quits throwing strikes, it's not because he's tired. It's because usually it's between the ears that gives up on him. Really, when it comes down to it, like it's one of those
Yeah.
things. Like they get a little frustrated with themselves, and on it goes. But that's a pretty cool story. Yeah, on Saturday night, Dave, in the 8th inning at the Bulls game against Swift Current, they're full house the whole bit. 2 on, none out, ground ball to third base, triple fucking play. I just what the hell's going on? Like yeah,
Boom, boom, boom.
third baseman, yep, bing, bang, boom, done. And the play at first, it was a half stepper, but it wasn't a banger by any means. So I was like, holy Christ, that's good. So we didn't have to worry about the fireworks situation. That really helped our scenario out on Saturday night. There it was good game, good crowd. The whole thing was a lot of fun. The second inning, there was a close play at home plate, and I called the guy out from Swift Current. He was out, and the coach come down the line. He wanted to have a little discussion with Brent Redlinski about my decision there, and he says to me, he says, how did he word it? He says, well, my player back there says he's out, and I said, well, what do you think he was going to fucking say? And he said something about, well, he says he's out. I said, well, this isn't really a democracy. This isn't how this works. Like,
and would he have said he's safe?
that's what I said. What's he gonna?
Yeah.
What's he gonna? If he said he was safe, would we be talking? I said, just go back to. And Dersh was in the crowd. He thought I was going to run the guy. I heard Dersh yell in the back, go, send him, Redlinski, send him. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Second inning of the game, yeah. We just got out here. I don't need that kind of a problem when the games first started in front of 25 or 3,000 people, whatever it was. No, nice crowd at Spit Stadium on Saturday night, and fireworks were happening. It was.
And we spoke about that. Apparently the Bulls organization was a little worried that you were going to get everybody off the field in time for the fireworks. Did that?
No, the game was over.
Right?
Like I was off the field 10 o'clock, and then sat in the dressing room, had some beers and everything else, waiting for the players to disperse, everything else, and then the fans were allowed on the field to watch the fireworks from the field. You could sit there, and me and Deanne, we took our rightful place right at home plate, a couple of folding chairs out there, and I was back where I was the 45 minutes or an hour before. I was like, oh Christ, we're doing this again. So no, it was a good night all around. Dave, when we recorded last Wednesday night, the New York Yankees were playing the Oakland Athletics, and unbeknownst to me, and I'm a biggest, you can see all the crap behind me, I'm a biggest Yankee fan as you got going around here. And then the game, I went upstairs, had the game on. Domingo Germán threw himself a perfect game, unbeknownst to most. Yes, it's on the West Coast. Yes, it was against the Oakland A's. But in general, that might have been the most silent, perfect game in baseball history. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, without a doubt, because like you said, that game was going on when we were recording on last Wednesday. Excuse me. And I had it going on the side, like on mute. And then I even think I mentioned it to you. I don't know if it was on air or during a break. I go, boy, the Yankees are laying the boots to the A's.
That was 11-0 final. I think is how.
Yeah, I think it was 7-0 when we were done.
Yeah.
And then when we were done, I just powered off and closed the screen. I didn't think nothing of it because I wasn't listening, right? And I just look at the score. I wasn't looking at the box score. And so I had zero idea that was a no-hitter, let alone a perfect game. And so I didn't even know
I
until
was
in the
eating
morning.
upstairs. Deanne was making supper for us while we were recording, and I saw them jumping around. It's like when a no-hitter happens, like, because those are once or twice a year. You see those. And then I didn't know until the next morning that it was a perfect game.
Same. And you being a Yankee fan, that
Didn't
kind of
know.
surprises me, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't care about Germán, right? Like, and
well, that's what I want to
was,
get, Dave, with this is that, like, for those of you who don't know, who aren't huge baseball fans, but listen to our show more than they watch Yankee baseball. Domingo Germán went through a situation in 2019, domestic violence at a Major League Baseball event in Manhattan, where his teammates had to restrain him, they got his wife away from him, on and on. He got suspended for 81 games, and on it went. And he got himself in a heap of trouble, had to go through counseling. Him and his family are reconciled. They're back together, and everything's good. As good as can be, I guess. There's always going to be some kind of scars, you would think. But I've never had, and then he got suspended this year for the sticky stuff. So in general, the guy hasn't had a great track record. For me, I'm not a big Herman fan. Like if he started tonight, and I was kind of watching a little bit just because I had the night off the field, so I'd get to watch a game. But I'm not a big Herman guy, even with the perfect game. I'm still like, you know what, this guy's kind of has a tainted past for me. So, and I'm not saying that morally I've done everything correct in my life, but sometimes the old moral high ground might have its place in a sports fan's world.
Oh, without a doubt. You don't, I myself, you don't appreciate the accomplishments of people that are bad people, and like spousal abuse is a bad thing to do. Sticky stuff, you know what? I might. Yeah, so you got caught. I'm not gonna
That
come
doesn't
down
bother me
on
as
that.
much because trying to get an upper hand, trying to get a competitive advantage when you don't got it. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah,
Like it's the old saying: if you're not cheating, you ain't trying. To an extent, but yeah, you get to that moral high ground a little bit. I just wonder, talking to some people about this over the weekend, like when a guy has a perfect game, it's great. Yeah, fourth one in Yankee history, and he gets that perfect game on a Wednesday night in
first one since 2012. It's like, so it's been a
since
bit
Felix Fernandez with the Seattle Mariners. He got that
Yeah.
against Tampa Bay on a Thursday afternoon. Why I remember that, I have no idea, but like you see that the guy do something great, fourth perfect game of Yankee history, on and on it goes, and you wonder, and no one felt like Yankee fans in general didn't really celebrate it. That even the next day, yeah, it was like listen, Michael K show, they were talking about it, but you wonder if it was anybody else, if there would have been a lot more, especially because it's the Yankees, there would have been a lot more exposure, a lot more publicity for it.
Not even just Yankees. If this guy would have been a Brewer or a Colorado Rocky, I think it would have been more celebrated because, they obviously these only happen. I think this was like the 27th or 28th in the history of baseball.
24th.
Yeah. So like it doesn't happen very often, and it's something you want to feel good for a guy for having his day in the sun, and the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then. But why did the sun have to shine on that dog?
That guy of all people, right? Yeah.
Right. And so it's tough to feel good for someone. It's an accomplishment, and no one's ever going to take that away from him. But really, had to be that fucker? And that's it.
The thing is that
so it's okay not to feel happy about it because the guy fucking beat his wife.
You wonder, like it's one of those things. Like I had this discussion between my own ears about this. Like you wonder what would happen if this guy ends up being the Game 6 starter in the World Series. Not that I'm saying the Yankees are going to the World Series, so don't people get all fucking crazy on me. But let's just say if ifs and buts are kind of nuts and the Yankees end up getting the World Series and got to a Game 6 or a Game 7 or Herman's a starter and gets the win, am I going to be as if it's that? Or am I going to be happy that the Yankees won? Like let's compare it to the Ray Rice situation with the Baltimore Ravens. Let's say if Ray Rice caught a game-winning touchdown, whatever year that was, that happened in the elevator with his wife. Because everybody was like, this guy should not be playing football.
Hey, diddle, Ray Rice up the middle. It was like the year they went to the Super Bowl, right?
So like if this is a situation where Ray Rice catches the game-winning touchdown, everybody was against him starting the season, but would Baltimore Ravens fans, if he catches that big touchdown to win themselves a championship, what are fans saying? Like it's tough to take that moral high ground because you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I 100% agree, and I've made a pact with myself for the OJ White Broncos, which is my fantasy football team that we do that live draft with. I'm not picking wife beaters. I'm not picking people that have a history of hitting women, and it may have cost me in a year or two, but I'm not gonna take Nick Chubb. I'm not gonna take the Cheetah. I'm not going to take Ben Roethlisberger. I'm not going to take fucking what's his name, Deshaun Watson. Like I just won't. because I want to cheer for the guys and I want to feel good about cheering for guys. And I understand, like, you as a Yankees fan, like, are you supposed to cheer for that guy? Like, what if it is game 6? What if it's game 6 in the World Series to stave off elimination? Like, you want him to win, but you wish it was someone else that you got to cheer for. And it's a problem that all us sports fans have, to like, and you won't even know how you feel until you're presented with the opportunity of, how am I supposed to feel about this?
And that's the thing, Dave, is do sports franchises have an obligation to their fan bases, maybe, to not, how do you, to not put us in this situation, I guess, to have to cheer for a guy like this, for a guy who's made some, and where is that line? Like, where is that line? Like, is it spousal abuse? Is it drunk driving? Is it a drug problem? Like where is the line with this moral high ground? Because he is without sin shall cast the first stone, right? So, like, where is it when it comes to fandom and everything else? Or do you just, because let's just say for take conversation, because that's what we're doing here. It's what podcasts are. Crazy. What a thought is that I'm going to lay it on the line that there has been some people in the past in the world of sports who've done some unsavory things that we never heard of, because there wasn't social media, there wasn't 24-hour news stations, there wasn't 24-hour sports stations, and on and so on it goes, right? There weren't people doing investigative reporting to see every last little bit you did. So for every hat trick, there's a guy who got a hooker. For every 3 touchdown game, there's a guy who slapped his wife, or you know what I mean? Like, there's always.
Oh, for sure. Like just,
so just because I'm not giving Domingo Herman a free pass because of the age we live in, but I'm saying is, there's probably been some unsavory characters throughout the history of professional sports who were great, or were Hall of Famers, whatever, who got away with it because of who they were.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. Like, I think, as you were telling that story, Mickey Mantle, one of the greatest Yankees of all time, they reached out to him when he was retired, and when he was freshly retired, and still was on the bottle, and they asked him about his favorite memory from Yankee Stadium. Did you ever see this?
Yeah, that's an unsavory it's a funny little story, but it's just a different one that you would, yeah.
And it was handwritten right on the sheet. Like, I read it in Mickey Mantle's handwriting. He talked about how he got a blowjob in the dugout on his off day.
Yeah.
And
or under the stairs, or whatever it might have been. Yeah,
whatever it would have been. And that was his favorite memory of Yankee Stadium. But, like, he had all these great moments, and obviously he was a little cantankerous.
Known womanizer, cheated on his wife, on and on it went with the Mick. And then you look at other guys that have happened, and Hall of Famers who did things, but, like, it's just like I said, I'm not giving these guys a pass now because they're playing in the era they got in, but it's a little bit harder to guys they still get away with a lot. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah,
like, athletes get away with a lot of crap. You go right down to college sports. Like, there's sheriffs in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, who let the Crimson Tide do whatever they want.
Well, and then whatever the fuck was happening.
I'm just using that as an example, but
and like Baylor football, right? Like, it was shit going on everywhere forever. And they got close to getting the death penalty because it was so bad, the rapes and everything that was going on, but they got pushed on it. And that's in, like I said, like we were saying, in university football. Like, at what point do we hold our athletes accountable for their actions off the field, as opposed to their accomplishments on the field? And and that's a choice we all have to make to ourselves.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting come late September, earlier October, like if Herman's on the hill for a decisive game, or a game that puts the Yankees into a playoff spot, or whatever it might be. And if I'm going to be, like, will I be cheering for him just to get out of the fifth, and then the bullpen takes over and he keeps it close, and not get a win? But then again, let's just say, if he's let's just throw another hypothetical out there. Let's just say if this cat's going for a fucking perfect game in Game 6 of the World Series, I'm going to be cheering for him.
because that's going to be legend now, right?
Because now you're into Don Larson territory, right? Like a perfect game in World Series, only been done one time. Everybody's seen the pictures and the videos of Yogi Berra jumping in Larson's arms. Only been done once, so you just wonder, like where does morality take over compared to fandom? It's tough. Like it's definitely a tough question you got to have with yourself, no matter what. Like it's you just don't know what to do.
And you never really do know until you are watching that game live. Like,
and for people to stamp their feet and cross their arms, I would never. You don't know.
You don't know because you're not a fan, right? Like, and I say it all the time. Like, especially in NCAA basketball or football, it's a game's going to happen, or occasionally in the NFL playoffs. Like, it's like two teams I really don't like, and I honestly don't know who I want to win the game. And I don't know until I actually start watching the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck. And then it's the one I always bring up is BYU and Notre Dame. I go, I don't know who I want to lose this game more. And then I find myself watching it, and it's like, actually, I think I do hate BYU a little more than Notre Dame. And that's a pretty rare thing.
Not all Mormons, just the ones who go to BYU.
I just said BYU. I didn't.
No, I know.
I didn't say Mormons. I said BYU.
I'm fairly certain our listenership understood what you were talking about: the Catholics versus convicts, or the Mormons versus the Catholics. So I know exactly where you're getting. So I just laid it out straight and narrow for our listeners.
It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm actually wanting Notre Dame to win a game here this time. So
it's crazy how you don't think of those situations. Everybody's I would never. You don't know. Like you don't know
until you watch.
And then let's even put it to another level. Like you brought the NCAA tournament, you could just turn on March Madness on that first Thursday or whatever it's on, and just start watching the game. It's a great game, and then afterwards you might find something out. Do you feel shame? No,
because it's just a game that I'm watching because it's on in March, and I want to watch.
Yeah, it's a game you're watching, and who cares? And like it's nothing that. I don't know. Like there's so many things that people are so against and so for and whatever. And I'm not going to say they're woke or anti-woke, because I still don't even fucking know what woke even means. I get so confused by the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I get confused with it. Like this is good. Whatever, right and wrong, and being nice and not being nice. But it's funny. Like I just want my team to win. Like right. Like let's say if there's people who are 85 years old who are Yankee fans since God knows when. They probably had no idea that Domingo Germán did whatever happened. You know, they listen to, they read the paper. They don't read the paper. They read the box score, right?
Right.
So does that make them a bad person for cheering for their team? No.
And they know, but they would know that why he got suspended for 80 games, right? Yeah. So they would know that. They would know he's a little bit shady. But at the end of the day, it's like, fuck, those are the people, right? Like the people a generation older than us that are like, fuck, I miss the good old days when all we knew was the bot score. We didn't know what they did. We
didn't have a clue. The worst thing we knew, the worst thing we knew, and I don't know what else Mario Lemieux's done, like at all. Or he could be an absolute saint, and you enjoy a dart, I enjoy a dart now and then, whatever it is. Like the worst thing we knew about Mario Lemieux or Guy Lafleur is that they smoked. That's it.
They had a dart
business deals, nothing. Families, we had no idea if they were married, divorced, nothing. They smoked darts between periods. That's the worst thing that we knew.
Yep.
And now we know everybody's everything, right? So it's odd, man. And that's the one the innocence of sports I kind of miss.
Yeah, and when we say we miss it, that's fine. Ignorance is bliss. But as the society we live in, and we know everything about. We know more about shit that we don't care about than actually the shit we do care about, right? And
that's a very good point.
And the way that society is right now. Now I know more about the fucking Kardashians, whereas in 20 years ago I didn't even know about the fucking Kardashians, and I didn't know the shit that these kids did. And now they're fucking 19 years old and billionaires. Like that blows me away. And whatever, I'm not going to besmirch him for being billionaires, but I just don't get it. I'm allowed to not get it. But like,
I'm gonna
geez,
ask you this. Like you're a big anti-Roethlisberger guy. You've
yes.
talked about it on the show a lot. Like you're not an apologist at all. You don't.
No,
like,
he's a product
Yeah.
of the system. And
No, let's not get into his quarterback, his quarterbacking,
Okay.
whatever. I don't give a fuck about that one bit. Let's just say that the Denver Broncos, they had a chance to think that they had a Super Bowl contender 5 years ago when he was still doing okay. I'm talking about Big Ben.
Yeah.
And Big Ben, the John Elway makes the phone call to Pittsburgh and says, "Hey, we'll give you whatever shares in Walmart, and I'll give you 3 car dealerships outside of Denver to if we can take Big Ben out of Pittsburgh, and he'll be a Denver Bronco." What would your thoughts have been would you cheer for that team that year? What would your thoughts have been?
The second I read that press release, I would have filed my divorce papers.
What if it was for 1 year and he doesn't win, he retires? Are you coming back or no?
Well, they wouldn't have
Temporary
won.
separation.
Yeah.
Well, let's say that they
No. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a temporary separation until you fucking pull your head out of the ass. Because I get it, like with Trevor Siemian and whoever the fuck else. God, we went through a lot of quarterbacks there before old D. Russ came around and or Russell Wilson came around. I don't know why I always want to call him D. Russ. It's no. Like, absolutely no. I thought he was overrated the entire time. I never got it.
I'm just talking morally.
Yeah,
you made your case morally against him more than you have his on the field escapades more like, yeah.
No, I would have been disgusted. I would have been absolutely disgusted, and I would have filed separation papers.
Separation papers.
I've done it before.
Are those a thing?
Separation papers?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I think you have to be legally separated. Like, I don't know if you file papers. I don't know if you like just do a post-dated check to yourself saying like I'm separated, and then after a year you're allowed to get divorced.
I think we can audit that one pretty quick. If there's something that went sideways quick, I think you can get divorced pretty quick.
I think you have to be legally separated for a year before you can actually get divorced.
Huh. We should check with our legal counsel at 1420 World Headquarters. Craig Schwarn, you might be able to help us. Not that I'm looking to get anything. We're not even married yet. But
well, you're not even married yet.
Yeah,
but you're common law now, so it might have to be something to do with that. Like, I don't know. We got some people that are divorced in our listening circles. Just
drop us a line at 1420sports@gmail.com. Let us know how you guys went through your divorce situation, and follow us on Twitter. And we'll send you an autographed picture of Dave and myself. No, I don't know. Yeah, the moral high ground is something, because you always people say I would never, but to come down to it, I don't know what I do. I do know what I would do. I do know what I would do. If he's in a situation where Domingo Germán's going to win a World Series game 1, game 4, game whatever, I'm hoping he does well. I'm hoping that he's out in the 5th with a tie game or with a lead. Like, and I'm hoping I'm not put in a situation where he's pitching a perfect game into the 8th, because now I have to cheer for him as well as the team.
Yeah. So you want him to do an Andy Pettitte job, not a Don Larson job.
That's what I would 100% like. That's what I would completely be. Give
me an Andy Pettitte.
Give me an Andy Pettitte, anyways. That's exactly. Congratulations to Jasper on the Immaculate inning there in what town was that?
Langdon, Alberta.
I don't remember Langdon. I always wanted to be
July 2nd. It was not on Canada Day. It was
July
on
the
July
2nd.
2.
Jasper Van Roby's his story be etched in baseball history in Langdon, Alberta. A story that he will tell for years to come, and it's too bad he can't make the story any better. The only thing he can make better is the guys he struck out.
And that's kind of a funny thing, right? If he doesn't do anything else with his baseball career, this story might get told at his wedding.
Oh, it will. He'll bring it up.
What if he throws a perfect game for Texas in the World Series of baseball?
One of those things that this is it.
He ain't. But
well, this might be something to propel his baseball career, get a little bit of little bit of cock in the walk and bump in his step, and all of a sudden he thinks he's a baseball player.
Gotta do better, boy. Gotta do better. Like that's yesterday's news.
I gotta
son.
work out. Yeah, whatever, Jasper.
Fucking hit the weights. Yeah,
let's. I ain't paying for it. Fuck, whatever. Anyways. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talk, and a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase, and to maybe watch Jasper pitch in the big leagues.
One of these days. You know what? And then like
stranger things have happened.
It was a cool moment, and his team was as proud of him as he was. Like that was good. Like he has a good team, and they were all jacked for him. And it was a fun moment.
Was the umpire a little generous? The umpire didn't even know.
Oh no, the umpire had a tight zone. And so Jasper knew he had to bring
the shoebox of life.
And I even got yipped at the umpire because I don't know if we were on air or off. It was the same umpire all 4 games on the weekend. And then after game 2, I bumped into him. I go, that's a little tight. Your strike zone's a little tight. Well, you gotta make them earn it. I go, how about making the kids swing the bat? So maybe that's what I did, because I put the thing in put
the bug in the umpire's ear.
Put the bug in the umpire's ear, because that was the first game the next day. Because I bitched about a bit of a tight zone.
I will never be known as a batter's umpire, man. I'm all for the pitchers, throw strikes, man. I get to the bar. Outs and strikes gets to the bar quicker after a game.
Well, exactly.
Outs and strikes.
And as kids up there, just make him swing the bat. Make him swing the bat. Strike
zone of a fucking hula hoop, man. Just throw it somewhere inside there, good enough.
Yeah, as opposed to throw it here.
Anyways.
No, fuck. Earn it. Earn that hit.
Nobody likes walks. Actually, we'll talk about that next time. We'll talk about that in a second. Anyways, 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Root for the whole team. They don't win, it's a shame. Now it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Now let's root for the whole team. They don't win, it's a shame. Now it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Oh, what a game!
You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get into it.